This disease has taken everything. And it's taken my father from me. He's there physically, but he's not there anymore. People don't understand what Alzheimer's truly does to a family. It's devastating. They say you can have Alzheimer's for 20 years before the first symptom shows. So it could be me. I don't think people truly realize what the face of Alzheimer's is. I could be the face of Alzheimer's today.
When we hear the words Alzheimer's disease, what picture comes into our mind? What is the face of Alzheimer's disease? What does Alzheimer's disease look like? First, someone who's old. Second, someone who is very impaired, dependent, helpless, possibly not able to talk, possibly not even able to walk anymore. The reality is, the face of Alzheimer's disease is a fully functioning person struggling to remain competent in life. That's the face of Alzheimer's disease today.
People younger and younger are being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. When we first knew that Mike had the disease, he was just barely 60. And we have people in some of the groups that I go to that the spouses are in their mid-50s, and it can happen even earlier than that.
Well, as people live longer too, there's going to be a lot more of this. So they have to realize that it's not just limited to some people. I think more and more people will get this unless they find a cure for it.
Today, people both young and old face the prospect of an encounter with Alzheimer's. Some may discover it in the face of a grandparent, or a father, or their spouse. Some find Alzheimer's in their own mirror. The truth is, Alzheimer's impacts the lives of millions of people.
I never in my life thought my dad would get it. He's the big, strong guy, you know. He's the guy I looked up to. He read me stories in bed. You know, he kissed me at night. He, you know, made sure I was safe, you know. And now to watch my father disappear, it's very difficult because there's nothing we can do. I'm fourth generation. I don't want to see it go any farther.
My best friend is my mom, and she's the only best friend I've ever had. She's always been there for everything. It's hard to cope because she's not pulled away instantly. She's pulled away little by little in bits and pieces. It's a slow process, and it's hard to cope with. You just do the best you can.
When people are ill, you need help. I had no idea who to turn to. Or what was available. It's so overwhelming. You don't know really what to do.
When faced with a diagnosis, families struggle to cope as they try to bring their lives under control. Their struggle is complicated and emotional.
Alzheimer's is a very difficult illness for families to deal with on one level because they're losing the person that they've always known. It's difficult to deal with because it's hard to get any resources, and it's very expensive, and it's not the kind of thing Medicare pays for. It's a very complex issue. And it's really amazing that the Alzheimer's Association can do as much as it does.
Good afternoon, Alzheimer's Association. How may I direct your call?
One of my hopes for the Alzheimer's Association is that they will have enough staff that I can write a prescription, give it to my patient or their family, and they can contact the Alzheimer's Association and get all of the resources that they're going to need.
While Dr. Belfi cannot simply write a prescription to visit the Alzheimer's Association, when she does refer her patients and their families, she knows that a full body of the latest resources will be available to those in her care.
The Alzheimer's Association opened the door and they said, we can help you. We can find things to help you. We'd be glad to help you. And they've always been there. I can call with any questions. They're always there. And if they don't have the answer, they will help me find the answer.
I can't even express how wonderful it was that I found somebody that knew what I was talking about and understood what we were going through. I don't know what I'd have done without that.
We actually do have a support group that meets in Burleson.
The Alzheimer's Association, it has been very helpful. The helpline has been wonderful. We set up an appointment for a home visit, and it started from there. The Safe Return bracelet has been a godsend. It's really helped. And I really thank the Alzheimer's Association for introducing that to us. Because if it had not been for the Safe Return bracelet, I'm not sure where Harry would have ended up. He's gone missing twice, and the Safe Return bracelet really helped to get him back where he needed to be.
The people at the Alzheimer's Association are every bit as important as the written literature because there's support there just to be a sounding board, a confidential place where I know I can talk about anything, and to point us in the direction of other things that might be helpful to us.
Alzheimer's disease affects a broad range of people. It doesn't discriminate between gender. It affects people in a fairly broad range of ages. And given that we don't have the best possible treatment to stave off the disease yet, I believe with continued support from agencies like the Alzheimer's Association, we will in fact come up with new important discoveries without which tackling Alzheimer's disease will simply not be possible.
As we've seen and heard, while medical professionals can explain the circumstances and the support of family and friends is crucial, families need more. To meet these needs, the North Central Texas chapter provides services to 40 counties here in the Lone Star State, including educational programs, support groups, licensed counselors, a 24/7 telephone helpline, the Medic Alert Plus Safe Return program, and much, much more. For many families, the association is the difference. It changes the equation for how families cope. And not only is the chapter providing these services locally, but nationally, the Alzheimer's Association is the largest private funder of research. The Alzheimer's Association does make a difference. It works. One of the biggest reasons it works is an incredible base of advocates who volunteer their time and often contribute their money to the association.
We have very strong support for people who are suffering and for caregivers. On the flip side of that, that isn't free. Someone has to pay for that. So it's important to involve all the people that you can to make them aware that we have an Alzheimer's problem.
I do hope that everyone will give to the Alzheimer's Association, no matter how much it is. The Alzheimer's Association needs our help all throughout the year.
When you see as many people out there at 6 o'clock in the morning starting to walk and to show their support for the Alzheimer's Association, it's tremendous. It's not about just one person writing one big check. They're writing checks for $10, $5, $20, $25, $50. And if you can help in any way, then you're helping people in ways you can't even imagine.
With our families and our friends and our communities, I think that everybody knows somebody who either has Alzheimer's or knows somebody who knows somebody that has it. It's really a huge ordeal, and I think people need to be involved with the Alzheimer's Association and be active and volunteer their time and whatever resources they have to offer.
When we decide together that we are going to make this problem of Alzheimer's disease a very high priority, and we commit our resources to that in pursuit of solutions, the Alzheimer's Association then has the opportunity to continue to educate the public, to continue to develop programs in communities, to continue to care for the caretaker, to continue to fund research that holds promise for the future.